If you're looking for a way how to use ChatGPT to write your examination paper for you, this video is not for you. But if you want to actually learn for real and figure out how to use generative AI honestly and effectively, stay with me. Listen, I know your situation. Some teachers ban AI completely. Some pretend it doesn't even exist. Some say use it responsibly, and you sit there trying to figure out what that means, while others send in AI-generated papers and they mostly passing. So I want to tell you what I figured out by testing this intentionally in my own studies for the last few months. My name is Jörg. I'm doing research on AI's impact on teaching and learning, and I've been teaching media and design students for more than a decade. I'm not having all the answers. Also, generative AI is improving exponentially, actually. So what I tell you today about the design of certain models might be obsolete in a few months. And one fun fact before we continue, I'm also Bernd das Brot. Well, I'm the voice actor and puppeteer of this iconic German children's television character, a permanently depressed loaf of bread. Bernd, do you hear me?
I can't hear you, and unfortunately my camera is broken.
One of these students. Bernd, what do you think about artificial intelligence?
What does it tell you about the human species if they create machines that shall do the thinking for them?
Sure. He'll be back. So, in my own research, instead of just letting AI summarize things or explain concepts, I started asking myself a total different question. What am I actually trying to achieve here? Do I want to understand something for real or just get through it more quickly? Here's what I've learned from 25 years as a puppeteer. It's always me who decides what happens. The moment I stop paying attention, the character goes dead. The puppet can't think. It can't choose. It just waits, right? It's the same with learning with AI. If you let the AI do the actual thinking for you, you stop being the puppeteer. You become the puppet. This is important if your learning involves reading, writing, building arguments from many sources. Anytime you're trying to develop real understanding, not just get through assignments, staying in control of your thinking matters. Learning with AI, or rather with large language models, is about staying in control. It's about maintaining your agency. Because here's the thing, real deep learning needs actually resistance. It needs friction more than producing a polished outcome. And when you really understand something, the writing actually goes quickly. That's why I recommend spending most of your time actually reading course literature, books, articles you find interesting. Take notes. Don't start producing your examination paper right away. Instead, plan your time wisely. Start with your paper's main structure so that structure can guide you reading and shape what you're looking for. The problem with these large language models is they give you solutions for your writing before you actually understand the topic. They produce smooth answers, but smooth answers hide the interesting problems. The main question here becomes, how do you use AI as a partner to think with? To think critically, not as a shortcut for actual thinking. How do you maintain agency when using these tools for learning? So far, I've discovered two different roles you can give a large language model, like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, or NotebookLM. The assistant and the Socratic Coach. Use the assistant when you need to organize logistics, like creating folder structures for your research papers, or managing citations, reviewing grammar, or tidying up your desktop. This is useful, right? It saves you time. It saves you time you can actually use for your actual thinking instead. Let it handle the mechanical work. But here's what the assistant can't do. It can't think for you, obviously. It can't determine which ideas matter most or how your argument should be structured. It can arrange your materials, but it can't tell you if your thinking actually holds together. So let's talk about the other role, the Socratic Coach. When you need to actually think harder, this is where AI can become a powerful tool for learning. When you use it to create resistance against your arguments, to test your thinking. Remember, learning needs resistance. So the Socratic Coach works in two ways. First, it can reveal what you actually understand or not by reflecting your thinking back to you. For example, you upload a first draft of your paper to an LLM, and it's a draft that you actually made without any AI involvement, right? And then you ask it to summarize your argument back to you as you were another student. And this summary can actually find, or with this summary, you can actually find gaps in your paper. The second way to use the Socratic Coach is to challenge your assumptions through questioning. Let's say you're writing an essay with the hypothesis, social media causes depression. So here you can ask the AI to challenge your statement by only asking questions step by step in dialogue form. What will come back is most likely a question like, what are you assuming with this hypothesis? What are you assuming with this hypothesis? Then you need to think about your own thinking. Eventually, you realize individuals don't have agency, or that we need to regulate social media, and you realize that is your statement, right? Or that's your argument. And within this dialogue, the AI puppet actually stimulates your thinking. And sometimes this resistance comes through critique. You might prompt something like, critically examine my paper, provide constructive feedback on gaps in my analysis and argumentation. And then it's important that you intentionally state not to provide suggestions for improvements. Just identify the gap. What comes back might be useful comments no teacher would have the time to give. Either way, if you use it for reflecting your thinking back to you, or if you use it to challenging your thinking through questions, the AI isn't doing the thinking for you, and that's good. You stay responsible for what comes next. For nuanced or more controversial topics where you need to bring together different perspectives, you need this resistance. AI summaries will mislead you because they sound fluent without being accurate, and because their training data actually reflects existing patterns and dominant perspectives that might flatten the very complexity you trying to actually understand, right? It's about deep learning. And that's exactly where you need to stay in control as the puppeteer.
So, you want me to ask a machine to make my work harder? Why would I do that when it could just do it for me?
Well, Bernd, because the machine doing it for you is how you end up in an exam or on the job with no AI and no clue what you're talking about. And do you want to sit in the driver's seat, or do you want the machines to sit in the driver's seat?
Mist.
So, using AI doesn't necessarily and automatically make you lazy. Prompted intelligently, it can enhance your thinking. But even in the so-called learning modes that OpenAI and other providers have introduced, the temptation to shortcut your thinking is always there. Resist that temptation. I know it's hard, especially when you feel time pressure, right? And that time pressure might be coming from setting the wrong priorities or from procrastination. But that's another video. Don't be afraid to experiment. Try things out and then reflect on what happened. I do my regular reflections on these experiments using another technology that once disrupted our thinking. That's the pen and the paper. talk with classmates and friends about how to use AI. Reflect together, reflect for yourself, and exchange your ideas with actually human beings. So, and ask your teachers, of course, ask your teachers the same questions, right? Because AI in education is an experiment we all running together. If this video resonates with you, and if you want more videos about learning with AI without losing yourself in the process, then please subscribe. My name is Jörg, and I see you in the next video where I talk about the importance of higher order thinking skills in an AI-driven world and how to build these. See you. Bernd, are you still with me? He's obviously gone.